Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here, back with a new short movie. The name of this short movie is What If Naruto Was Raised by Nature and Had a Planned Kekkei Genkai. And yeah guys, it's an unscripted movie as well. Now before continuing this, I would like to give shout out to Hanma Grappler for suggesting me this idea. Sorry man, I kind of modified some bit of your idea. I hope you're okay with that, but it is still your idea and you deserve the credit for it. Other than that, if you haven't, then please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And I have been reading your comments about the yesterday movie. Yeah, it was quite hilarious, wasn't it? I told you it was going to be a funny one. At the same time, it's going to be a neglected fic and quite interesting. Well, thanks anyway for showing the support. I really appreciate that. Just keep showing that love and support to me, and that will keep me motivated for, posting more videos and all. Now, enough yip yapping, and without further ado, let's begin with our story. Story begins on October 10th in Konohagakure no Sato, as that was a night that was memorable for Konoha, but not in a good way, because the Kyuubi no Yoko appeared out of nowhere outside the village and just literally was going to obliterate it if it wasn't for the fourth Hokage and his wife that made the sacrifice of their lives to seal the Kyuubi away in a child, and that child was their son. Aside from Hiruzen Sarutobi and some of the Anbus, who were loyal to Minato and Hiruzen and Kakashi, nobody knew who the boy was or what his origins were. As after the Shinigami sealed the Kyuubi inside the boy, Minato made a request and so did Kushina, unknown to everyone because the time was frozen at the time when Minato was requesting his deed. As we go to the flashback when Minato was requesting what he wanted from the Shinigami in exchange for his soul and his wife as well. I want you to seal the Kyuubi inside of my son. Do you know that he will be targeted by the whole village then? I can see it. Do you still want me to do that, mortal? As Minato thought about it, as Kushina then said, if that is to happen, please find a way so that our son can live on and there is someone who can protect him. But what if those who you trust betray you? Please, you are the Shinigami. We request you to do something about it. Protect him. These are against the rules and I cannot show favoritism to anyone, said Shinigami, as both Minato and Kushina looked desperate now, as the Kyuubi was almost sealed inside Naruto now, and they now regretted doing that. As suddenly, Shinigami was brought out with stupor as his eyes widened. I have found the protector of the child, and the one who will raise him if things do go bad. You do not have to worry. Just prepare for your payment. Hi, thank you so much, Shinigami-sama. As after that, the Kyuubi was sealed inside Naruto, and Shinigami took both Minato and Kushina's soul as payment and left. As end of the flashback, we go towards the council chamber in which the civilian, the shinobi, and the elders, alongside with the now newly instated third Hokage, was sitting, as Kakashi was holding a child in his arm in a basket. He was none other than Naruto Uzumaki. As there was quite fighting in the council now, because the civilian wanted nothing to do with him more than just to get rid of it, because they thought that the child might be taken over by Kyuubi, as the civilian side were also remorseful for what happened and thought it might be for the best to end the child's misery and as well as the Kyuubi if they're at it. The elders, however, mainly Danzo, wanted him to be their loyal pet dog, and Hiruzen knew he was at loss. He needed support that he was not getting from anyone, from any side. Can these people show a little bit of compassion? You must understand, Hiruzen said. This is a kid we're talking about. He's an infant child. Do you want him to suffer? He can go die before all we care, said one of the civilian. It will be for the best, said Shikaku. His death will end his misery because we know that these people will not understand, and it might be a chance for finally getting rid of the Kyuubi. We need Kyuubi, said Danzo. and we need him as our pet dog. Can't you see that? We have a weapon that we can mold as our defense guard. Be at guard for whenever we need him. That is what I feared, Minato, will happen, as Kakashi was holding back his Chidoris and Raikiris to be shoved into everyone there. As suddenly, trees started to rumble as huge windstorm came. As everyone got alert, what is happening? Suddenly, three branches bursted through from the windows and suddenly went for the basket. As the tree surrounded the basket in a circle, covering it completely, leaving Naruto enough air to breathe. As suddenly the branches left. After them, whoever it is can manipulate wood. But when they arrived, following the branches, it was in the forest of death. They went inside, but did not find a trace of the said child. Where he went, nobody knew. As the search continued for almost 6 months straight after that incident, but it was to no avail. Nothing was found. Civilians were overjoyed and celebrated the death of the demon child, while the shinobi clan heads were informed who he was. And after the confirmation that they didn't found, Hiruzen revealed, after being pressurized from the elders and the civilians who were quite intrigued who the demon child was. So he gathered the whole village to announce Naruto's death. Today we are here to mourn for our hero's fallen legacy. As the clan had certainly had a bad feeling about this. The son of Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, who was lost after his birth. As everyone began to whisper amongst each other, because they knew the child's name was Naruto, as Hiruzen revealed, and now they were shocked and disgusted by themselves. They were celebrating the death of their hero's legacy, who sacrificed his life and his son and his family just so they could live in peace. Even the civilians were disgusted by that. Danzo, Koharu, and Hamura looked down at the loss of sudden legacy because they knew that they needed Uzumaki clan as well as the Namikaze. Now both were lost to them because of their own foolish ideals and Hiruzen's stupidity for not revealing who he was. Things could have been different. As Kakashi was a drunkard by then, he will drink every evening from dusk till dawn, as his eyes were now covered with dark circles because he couldn't track down Naruto, and he was being surrounded and consumed by his own sorrows that he had deeply buried in his heart. Same could be said for Hiruzen. It was another failure in his life. Aside from Orochimaru and failing Minato, these were the two biggest regrets of his life. As after hearing the news of what happened to Naruto, Jiraiya rushed back to the village and looked at everyone with disgust, and after meeting with his sensei, he vowed that he will find any clues for Naruto. But that didn't work out. Similarly, years passed. 1 year turned to 2, and 2 turned to 4, 4 to then 6. And it was at the age of 6 that we go towards the Yuka compound to see that a man with a bag on his back was dashing away into the forest of death in the woods. As suddenly the siren alarms rang out in the whole compound. Shit, the Hyugas are alerted. We have to get out of here, fast. We have to make it back to the Kumo. It was the Kumo's delegate that came here for fake peace treaty and were now stealing the heiress of the Yuga clan, Hinata Yuga. As when they entered, they decided to hide there, as nobody would come there, they knew. Since they were there for 1 week now, it was a forest of death and rarely anybody come here. As they were resting, they sensed that chakra signatures going away as they chuckled. Ha! We were able to get away, as the bag started to move. As he kicked the bag, shut up, you damn brat! And keep quiet, or we'll just kill you. As one of these shinobi then said, not before tasting her. Ugh, disgusting, she's a kid. Unknown to them, someone was listening from the shadows, his cold blue, icy eyes piercing through their souls. As a voice from within said, guilty. It was a deep voice, as Naruto nodded. As suddenly, Naruto made his hand forward as three branches shot out and pierced them through their chest. As suddenly, Screams were heard for Hinata within the bag as she was screaming in fear, and it was quiet. And then she heard footsteps, and suddenly the bag was opened to reveal a blonde-haired boy with tan skin and 3 whisker marks on each cheek with blue eyes. He looked at her and tilted his head. Grandma has taught him somewhat to speak, but his language for not speaking with anyone aside from him was quite broken. You okay? Not hurt? Naruto asked. I'm fine. Thank you. As Naruto pointed then to himself. Me, Naruto. You who? He said, pointing towards the girl. Hinata. Hinata Yuga. Naruto. She's from the Yuga clan. You must take her back. Understand, Naruto. As Naruto then picked her up in bridal style. Me take Hinata home, Naruto said, as with blistering speed, Naruto dashed from tree to trees at blinding speed as Hinata couldn't see anything, and within 2 to 3 minutes they arrived back in the compound. As Kyuubi and Hinata guided Naruto where to go. At the main gate, Naruto dropped her off. Bye, Hinata. As after that, Naruto left, back to the Forest of Death. As that is when Hiyashi saw this, a shadowy boy leaving Hinata there. Hinata! Who was that? He rescued me. What? What happened? Some people kidnapped me, saying that they wanted to take me to Kumo. Those Kumo delegates. Where the fuck are those bastards? We should kill them, Hiyashi-sama. They're dead. What? What do you mean? Hinata. That boy, he killed them using wood. What? Wood style? As Hiyashi's eyes narrowed. Are you alright, Hinata? Are you hurt? Not at all. Go. Good. Ko, take her back to her room and guard this time properly. It will be done, Hiyashi-sama. As after that, Hiyashi then went back to the Hokage office. Hokage-sama, I have something to tell you. What? Hiyashi, I heard that you were looking for your daughter. I have sent out envoys. Don't worry, we will be able to locate down whoever did this. We have already locked the borders of Konoha. Don't worry, Hokage-sama. She has been rescued and found by a boy. What? Who can use wood style? It presumes. My daughter said he could use or manipulate wood as his will. As Hiruzen's eyes narrowed. Where did he leave? She said it was a forest. Do you think it's Forest of Death? It is the only place we never checked, because who will go there? As after that, both Hiyashi and Hiruzen went at the entrance, as many of the envoys gathered. As did Kakashi. You don't need to go there. Why, Kakashi? I checked thoroughly with Anko. There's not a bit of trace of Naruto there. But today a boy was seen moving back to this forest using wood style, we presume. As all the shinobis and envoys entered Naruto's domain, as Naruto was hidden, as for him trees acted like spies, wind acted like a messenger. As he heard rustling in leaves, he who was meditating and sleeping peacefully woke up Naruto. You have some guests that are unwanted here. Me go look. As Naruto then moved in the shadows, and then, masking his complete presence with nature as one, Naruto looked down. As Naruto then saw that there were some people with similar gears to those who he had killed. Are they bad? Naruto asked Kyuubi, as Kyuubi said, no, but if they find you, things can go badly. You should approach them with cautious, Naruto. Some of them are good, but mostly all of them are bad. Me realize, me keep hidden, Naruto said, as suddenly he moved back and suddenly snapped a branch. Naruto, run! As Naruto dashed, as many of the envoys were now after him. As suddenly a rope was thrown at him as he fell to the ground. As before the envoys could reach him, A wood dome appeared, surrounding him. As everyone gasped, is that the wood style? As then, Kakashi, who had activated his Sharingan, saw the moments and the boy who fell down. Naruto, please open up, it's me, Kakashi. Who who are you? Naruto asked. Naruto, he's your father's student. You can trust him. As Naruto opened the wood dome, as he looked at them, now in the direct moonlight, they could all see the blonde hair, the tan skin, the blue eyes, the 3 whisker marks. As many of the Anbus and the others were on guard. As Higashi then said, what proof do we have that he is the boy, even though he looks like him? It has been 6 years, we haven't found him, Hokage-sama, Kakashi. He is him, and if it is, then we will take him back. Me not going anywhere. This is Naruto's home, Naruto said. This is not your home, Naruto. Your home is there, across this forest. On the other side, the village known as Konohagakure no Sato. No, this is Naruto's home. As suddenly, an Anbu moved forward. We have to bring him back. He's getting scared, we have to neutralize him. As suddenly, trees started to move in their directions, as if they were moving. As ground started to revolt, as Naruto was yanked back from the ground, picked up by a tree. Naruto! As many of them said, as the forests were now in front of all of them. As many spiky tree branches and roots appeared from the ground, piercing, looking towards them sharply, ready to kill and impale any one of them who stepped forward. We're not going to hurt him. As a root right down, leave. He's under my protection. Who are you? Hiruzen said. As Higashi activated his Byakugan as his eyes widened. Hokage-sama, I think we should leave. Hear the Yuga's words and heed my warning. Leave. I'm not going to repeat. It wrote down. As nobody wanted to leave, especially Kakashi and Hiruzen, now finding out that the heir to the Uzumaki no Mikaze clan, the son of their, teacher and friend, was alive. And now they're not going to leave him here alone in some guidance of another being or entity that they did not knew about. Hokage-sama, please! We should leave. We do not mess with nature, remember? As then everyone realized what Higashi was talking about. As Hiruzen's eyes went, your nature. Like real nature, Mother Nature. Yes, that child is under my protection. I raised him for past 60 years. And will continue to. He is my son. Now leave. We wrote down again a root, as if the Mother Earth has adopted Naruto, and Mother Nature as well. As after that, the whole Konoha squadron retreated back. They did not want to incur the wrath of the nature, because they knew nothing could be more deadly and harmful than nature. As they all retreated back, they called for a council meeting, as they wanted to announce this news. As everyone gathered, as Hiruzen then said, we found some new discoveries. Today Higashi's daughter was kidnapped, almost, and they were by Kumo's delegates who were found dead in the Forest of Death. And they were killed by a wood user who was similar to her age, a boy with blonde hair, tan skin, and blue eyes with 3 whisker marks. Is that? Yes, Naruto Uzumaki no Mikaze. He's alive and was raised well and properly, but due to the lack of any communication outside of the nature, he does not know how to communicate properly. We have to rescue him and bring him back then, said Danzo, because we need the Uzumaki no Mikaze clan. We would, but the one who is in charge of him and took charge of him and adopted him is something we cannot mess with. Who is that? Mother Nature itself, said Higashi. I saw that. The whole forest was there to protect him, as a mother would, standing between us who were the bad guys taking the child from her. She will not let go of nature. I mean Naruto. How do you expect us to believe that? Just go and try to go inside Forest of Death in intent to harm Naruto and you will find out. Suddenly, a huge tree branch slammed through in the middle as the roots started to write down something, a message that they could have stood before leaving and vanishing as if it never existed. Don't even think about it. If you try to harm my son, you will incur my wrath, and you know how calm and deadly I could be whenever I wanted to, as I am peaceful and forgiving now. Do not test my patience, as this was the message given to them, as they realized just how badly they messed up, and there is something that they could not get back no matter how hard they tried, and it is something that they cannot fight against. As we go back to the forest, in the center there was a little hut that was made for Naruto by the nature itself. As suddenly a woman made out of wood with a crown made out of leaves and flowers came and saw that he was sleeping there, made out of a bed made out of leaves. Soon, my son, you will be ready to face the world, and I will help you with it, standing beside you. Now, why was Mother Nature here and adopting Naruto and giving Naruto help? It was because back then, when Kushina and Minato requested someone to protect their child and knew what kind of mistake they made, she stepped in because she was called Mother and had that title for so long. Well, she was not a mother herself. She wanted that feeling that she knew most human mothers felt and other animal mothers felt. And she now knew what kind of blessing it was truly to be a mother. And she would never let go of it. To her, he will be her baby boy, who she raised for past 6 years, even though he turns into a 99-year-old man. She'll still look out for him and look after him. There's nothing that can change that now. As after that, she cuddled with him and slept there to keep him warm and protected. As inside Naruto's mindscape, Naruto woke up. Kurama, what you want? Naruto said in tired voice, Naruto, there's something I need to tell you. Those people, they know your real parents. Remember how I told you that you will meet them if you break me free from the seal, and when you did, you felt unconscious. Your parents' chakra was there looking out for you, but they left before you woke up. And if you want to know about them, you have to go outside of the forest. But mother, she won't. You have to ask her. Ask her permission and she will let you. She cannot stop you, Naruto. But she's my mother. I know, kid, but don't you want to find out about your parents? I will when I grow up. She said she will let me go. It will be hard for her then, Naruto. You're going to make this harder for her to let you go than it already is. I'll give you 4 years, kid. Train well. I'll teach you everything. You must practice. And after that, when you reach at the age of 10, you must go and become a shinobi. It was the will of your parents. I understand. Good, kid. Now go back to sleep. As within Mindscape, since there was no prisons, Kyuubi's tail moved forward and kept Naruto warm. As after that, next morning Naruto woke up and started to train, as Mother Nature was more than, well, there for him and supported him unconditionally. 4 years passed like that. Hinata from the Hyuga clan hadn't met Naruto ever since. She was enrolled in the academy today, and for the next 2 years she will be studying there to become the Genin of the village. And after 10 years, Naruto arrived in the Hokage office through an wood dome. Then everyone was on guard. When that happened, Azurizen then asked, Naruto, my boy, what can I do for you? Why are you outside? Me wants to become shinobi. Ma and Pa wanted Naruto to be one. Naruto said. Now his communication skills much more improved. As Hiruzen then asked curiously, what about your mother? Mother allowed me to go and live my dream. She said she will watch over me as she watches over the whole Konoha and planet. Alright. Here, I'll take you to the academy where you will be learning for 2 years. Do you want an apartment? Mother said that I can go and live in any forest I want to. Okay, alright. As after that, Hiruzen took Naruto to Iruka's class, where the clan heirs will be. After arriving there, Hiruzen introduced Iruka and the whole class to Naruto. As Naruto sat down to Hinata, who was sitting alone, since she was kind of a fidgety one, she was left alone most of the time. And when Naruto arrived, Hinata brightened up because she was finally meeting the one who saved her all those 4 years ago, when she needed someone the most. And Naruto, for the next 2 years, supported her and became best friends with her and her crush and love in secret. As Naruto's hair was wild and outgrown, Ino was quite jealous because even though both of them were blondes, Naruto's hair being wild was still more silky and smooth. And the surprising thing was Naruto didn't use any cosmetics like Ino did. And his hair was still healthy and strong and had length. She was quite jealous of it. For the first time she felt inferior as a woman, and Naruto told her that she was beautiful as she was, and that unknown to anyone did the trick on Ino. Being called pretty was her weakness, but being called pretty by a handsome and sexy boy in her eyes was something new, and she kind of liked it. And after that, the three of them would usually be seen together for the upcoming 2 years. Time skipped. 2 years later, the 2 years passed, and today was the graduation test. Naruto's communication skill, thanks to Hinata and Ino, has improved to a normal rate and a certain degree that anyone could understand what he was trying to say and communicate with them. To Kurama's teaching, Naruto knew how to perform basic jutsus, or some of the basic jutsus for only Uzumakis, like Shadow Clone Jutsu, Shadow Hanji Jutsu, and many more. And his father's personal jutsu Rasengan as well, and his mother's Kenjutsu style was taught to him. And that is why he aced the test, becoming the Rookie of the Year after coming in late, and Sasuke was at second, admiring Naruto for his strength, finding out whose son he was and how he was raised. And after that, the team selection came. Naruto was selected in Sakura, Sasuke, and Team 7 with them, as their sensei was Kakashi Hatake. Naruto said goodbye to Ino and Hinata, who were separate in other teams. And after everyone left with their sensei, Naruto was left alone. As he was meditating, Sasuke then said, "Naruto." "What is it, Sasuke?" Naruto asked in calm tone. "I want to learn meditation. It's easy. Just sit down on your seat. Bend your legs and exhale and inhale. After some intervals of time, you will feel at peace, and when you are at peace, expand your chakra. You will meditate." And Sasuke did that, and both of them remained that way. Sakura followed them suit, and they had to be brought out of their meditation by their sensei. To them it was only a few minutes, but when their sensei told them it had been 3 hours, they knew the benefits of meditation. They felt at peace, and their energy was resoluting. As after that, the Team 7 formally introduced themselves. Sasuke still had the same ambition because the Uchiha massacre did happen, and his hatred was calmed down somewhat thanks to Naruto. As for Sakura, she was still a fangirl. Naruto, however, had one ambition. He wanted to protect and serve nature, and that's all, and protect his precious people. Time passed as they did the D-rank missions as any genin would. And finally, the time came for them to do their first C-rank mission, as they all went with Tazuna to the land of waves. During them, they encountered many hurdles, such as the Demon Brothers, and finally, when they overcame them and arrived in the the land of waves, they met with Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the mist, who went rogue within a compliance, unknown to all of them. As his sword came down at them, but Naruto's tree branches appeared and held it in one place. As Zabuza arrived there, my oh my, a wood user. The new Konoha had one of them. Zabuza was scared somewhat, as Naruto then said, "Are you a friend or a foe?" "Depends. If you hand over that old man over there, I'm a friend. If you don't, then I'm a foe. I'm afraid I cannot do that." "Art style." Mud jutsu. And suddenly, Zabuza was neck down in the mud. As Naruto then said, I'm not going to kill you because I can sense fear. Naruto said in a whisper, tell me who sent you and why he sent you. Gato. He wants this man dead. Why? Because I want money, that's why. Here, take this. These are from the bandits that try to rape or come into the forest to kill girls. I looted this from them after killing them. Is this much enough? More than enough. You can leave, please. Peacefully. You know, kid, I like you. I'll stick around here until this mission is over. And I'll depart the other way. I'll protect this guy. Consider yourself a deal, kid. Thank you. As Naruto then lifted him up back as Zabuza called for Haku then. Haku was a boy who looked much more feminine as Sakura somewhat felt defeated for a woman. As everyone else thought that their eyes were, well, joking on them. As in the night time, when they all arrived back, Inari had some hope now, since Naruto and everyone told them that Gato will be killed when he arrives at that gate, even though he was desperate and in despair. And finally, 7 days later, the time came when Gato arrived, and he was ambushed by Zabuza, Haku, Naruto, and the Team 7, literally butchering him and his whole goons army. As the whole villagers celebrated the death of Gato at the hands of Zabuza, and Naruto and Zabuza and Team 7 were hailed as the heroes alongside Haku of the Land of Waves. And Haku and Zabuza even stayed there to teach some of the children and become the permanent residents of the said land and protectors, hired mercenaries by the said village. As after that, Naruto and his team retreated back to Konoha with a peace treaty between the Land of Waves and Konoha, much more strengthened than before. After that, some time passed and Chunin exams were announced, and Team 7 was enrolled in it. And when Naruto was done training 1 week later, when the exams were near, 2 days before the exams, different teams from different villages arrived. And from Suna, a team of 3 siblings arrived as well. Gara, a redhead girl, as well as Temari, a sandy blonde-haired girl, and Kankuro, a boy with, well, Egyptian kink. As these three arrived, Gara was a curious girl and went into hiding, as both of them were walking until suddenly a kid bumped into them as Kankuro picked him up. Really, Kankuro? Are you that much of a little baby that you're going to torture a kid for this? He needs to be taught a lesson, Temari. Plus, Gara's not here, and she really gives us some space for our own fun. Please let me go. I apologize. Yeah, right. I suddenly felt a cold blade on his neck. Leave him alone, or you will get it. It was Naruto. Wait, calm down, buddy. I let him go. You're not from here. Where are you from? Where I'm from Suna. So you are our ally, and yet you still will go that far to cause war between 2 villages just because you don't like grandson of the third Hokage. As their jaws dropped. I apologize, I didn't know. Kankuro, said a feminine voice and a deep voice. You are a scar to our village name. As a girl appeared in front of Naruto without eyebrows and dark circles, with a kanji for love on her forehead. As Naruto unknowingly touched her forehead with 2 fingers, as she blushed, as her eyes widened as both Naruto and she went into the mindscape. As Shikaku was behind her, as Kyuubi was behind Naruto, who was much larger than Shikaku. You damn stupid Tanuki, still torturing your poor Jinchurikis. They are the reason of my despair. They are not the reason. Those people are who put you in that child. The child was born when you were sealed into him, right? Yes. He became my new prison, my new hell. If you make peace with it, it will not be a hell. Have you? I have. Me and Naruto have been working together since he was an infant kid. I taught him what I could because I needed him to survive. Big old fox relying on a kid. Well, that's something new. Don't turn and twist my words. If you don't leave that kid alone, I will have no way to use that seal that father taught me to keep you in line. because he knew that you are the most crazy one. You will not use that seal. This is embarrassing now. I am a grown up. Then act like one, Shikaku. Fine. As after that, when they came out of their mindscapes, since Gaara was too shocked to say anything. Gaara's eyes were, "You're like me." As Conqueror and Tamari had red flags all over the place. They stepped on a line mine. Yes, I hold the 9 tails, and you hold the 1. Now they were sure they stepped on an atomic bomb that was ready to detonate because it was the 9 tails, the strongest Biju now. Not the Shikaku, who was the, well, Naruto one that is strongest. And they still were scared of him. What will the 9 tails do? As Naruto said, you can sleep now. There's nothing wrong with it. Shikaku has allowed you to. Me and Kurama has talked to him. Thank you. What's your name? Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki no Mikaze. Gaara-chan. As after that, Naruto left. As Gaara was left there standing with a blush on her face. Gaara? Are you okay? Said Temari. I'm fine, Ne-san. I'm just going to go and get some rest. As after that, Gaara left to get some rest and get refreshed. And the Chunin exams began. The first part, as in canon, everyone passed. The second part went as in canon as well, but when Orochimaru arrived, the force binded him because he wanted to hit Naruto. His own summons declined to attack Naruto because they were under the domain of the Mother Nature. No summon will harm her son. As after that, Orochimaru was quite distraught and was at disadvantage, so he had to retreat. And after that, he summoned that same snake and asked him why was his reasoning to not attack him. That child, Mother Nature warned us all about him. He is her heir, her son, and if you do anything to him, Orochimaru, you will not only cause yourself some trouble, but us all, as Snake Clan as well. I want that boy as a vassal. As suddenly, whips of woods arrived and binded him in his own throne that he was sitting in a dark chamber. As a voice boomed, "You will not even think about this. If you hurt my son, even so, one of his hair is left from his body. Thanks to you, I will butcher you down in the most painful way, and your body will rot for eternity. You want immortality, right? I will give you immortality of pain. I apologize. I will not do anything. I vow on my name as a Sanin. My lady, you will not hear from me, not even squeak. Good. Stay away from Konoha. Stay away from Naruto. Stay away from my domain. And worry not. Trees and even the air are my domain. That you very breathe in. I know what you think. I know what you see and feel. Orochimaru. It doesn't go only for you. I have already poisoned Kabuto and those of your compliance, such as Mizuki and all those others. They will not be coming back because they had bad ambitions. We have formed an alliance, Orochimaru, and come to a conclusion of ceasefire. If you break this pact, you will be punished accordingly. Do not make me regret this. And after that, the voice was gone and he was released. As he felt at peace, and he saw his hand, which was shaking. Damn it! And I'm the strongest Sanin out of all of them. I will not do anything, but I will wait for a chance to strike at Konoha. That is something I'm not going to agree with, Mother Nature. As after that, we go back towards Naruto, who was spending some time with Ino and Hinata, because both of them were bothering since they were free now. And after that, the second round was over, the Chunin exams began. The preliminaries, and as in canon, everyone won. Naruto sucker punched Kiba again, and this time he was on the ground but cautious, as Naruto held back a lot of it. And after that, Akamaru thanked Naruto for not hurting Kiba that bad. Naruto laughed at Akamaru and said it was alright because he was his friend and comrade. And after some time was given to them, 1 month time break for the preparation for the finale of the Chunin exams, and that is what the many Genins did. They prepared well and they were ready to perform. As after the finals begins and the attack began, since Orochimaru was going to attack. And when he decided to attack, when Gaara's match came with Sasuke, because Gaara released Shikaku, who was getting enraged because of an Uchiha, because all Bijus remembered Madara. He was the one who manipulated them, and they hated him to the core. So let's just say that Orochimaru was shocked when Mother Nature arrived in the battle, helping out Konoha and defeating Suna and Goto alike, and killing Orochimaru alongside his accomplices and all those that arrived with him. Suna was spared somewhat, at least those who were good and were only following orders. The higher-ups were killed off in Suna back there, who betrayed Konoha and Mother Nature. As after that, the Akatsuki were mainly Zetsu was feeling a connection that was cut off from nature because he was having bad ambitions towards Naruto, and Mother Nature just took notice of it, and she was not going to let that happen. And she paid Akatsuki the same visit and gave them the same warning, but they didn't listen. 2 years passed peacefully, and after that they attacked out of nowhere. Naruto, alongside with Nature, Mother, his own mom, with her abilities granted to him, used the wood styles and summoned 18 Shinju Senjus, and 18,000 punches were launched upon all of them, butchering and literally maiming them to the ground into a bloody smear. Itachi's mangled corpse was there also, alongside many others, as Itachi's throat was slit by none other than Sasuke, as his revenge was complete, but he felt hollow. And then he found the letter was from Danzo. What really happened, and then he cried, because Naruto only pummeled him and made him immobile while killing the rest. He was the one who finished the job. He then told Naruto what happened, and Naruto and Sasuke went after Danzo and butchered him as well. As after he was killed, did Sasuke feel at peace. He thought that he has avenged his Nissan, and now that his Nissan can live in peace as well. Time passed, Konoha recovered, and the war between the nations began again, the 4th grade Shinobi War. Since there was no Akatsuki, Naruto showed them with the help of Mother Nature and his kekkei genkai that they had another thing coming for them. Iwa now more than ever feared Konoha and Naruto and Mother Nature. And at the same time, Naruto moved a hand of friendship towards them by, well, vitalizing their nation with trees of different fruits and all that, so that they will not go hungry, and water streams were also given to them. As after that, Naruto moved towards Kiri and helped them out. And Kumo, Naruto, well, hated them with a passion because of Hinata, but Naruto made friends with some of them. Since the 3rd Raikage was dead, the 4th A took place, and he became friends with Naruto. The other minor villages also joined in this alliance, as everyone finally was at peace. And at the age of 20, Naruto married to Ino and Hinata, 2 love of his lives, under the, well, blessings of both Mother Nature and their parents. Naruto was given a castle as a gift from Mother Nature, which was inside the Forest of Death, and a path was created so that no animal should cross that, as the animals knew about Mother Nature and worshipped her, so they listened to her attentively. And that is where the grandchildren and children of Mother Nature lived, happily ever after in Konoha, and with peace with other nations. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this story off, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, as this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing out. Peace.